Hello, I've met this lad.
Hey.
What's your name?
Donnie Donald.
And you are what?
I'm a senior at NYU.
He's a student at NYU, so we're sneaking into his library to do an exclusive reading of my book, which is called...
Revolution.
You're good at this. You're the new Ferris Bueller. Alright, so I'm just reading a bit of my book. This lad, Donnie Donnelly, let us in here. We've got no business being here at all. We just came in here to do a book reading. It's midterms, they're doing their exams. I don't know what a midterm is. They're probably all out of their heads on crystal meth, aren't they? I'm going to read you an exclusive extract from my book before it's out in America or in England. Let me know what you think of it, but do bear in mind when you give me my criticism, it's already published, so I can't really do anything. So don't go, I don't like it, it's awful, because I'll just be hurt. You'll just be hurting a person's feelings. What I'm basically asking for is some encouragement and reassurance. Here is a book reading of my own book by me. You are the very first people to see it. Here we go. This section here is when I was in the Marines. You didn't know I was in the US Marine Corps? Well, I was in the US Marine Corps. It wasn't for that long. It was essentially for about a 3-day period. It was meant to be a 3-day period, but I got kicked out because, well, I was too tough. They couldn't handle me. It was a bit like Rambo. It wasn't because of that. It was just too difficult to be in the Marines. Here is a reading about a moment while in the Marine Corps where I had to do an assault course or obstacle course. Another word for obstacle course is assault course, and I can see how both terms have flourished because when I finally embarked on the horrific sequence of logs and fences and nets and ropes, assaulted is how I felt. They may as well have called it a humiliation course. The other Marines, that's right, other Marines, hopped, zipped and sauntered across each awful vicissitude like Butch Nijinsky's. Then came my turn. I hate doing things that I'm shit at, especially in front of people who are good at them. The only way that obstacle course could have been made more traumatic is if they'd brought along a girl I fancied to watch. With each tentative tiptoe and stumble, I had to inwardly assure myself that I was a good comedian and that my life was not pointless. I'm addicted to comfort, I thought, as I tumbled into the wood chips. I've become divorced from nature. I don't know what the names of the trees and the birds are. I don't know what berries to eat or which stars will guide me home. I don't know how to sleep outside in a wood or skin a rabbit. We have become like living cutlets, sanitised into cellular ineptitude. They say that the supermarkets have 3 days of food, that if there was a power cut in 3 days the food would spoil, that if cash machines stopped working, if cars couldn't be filled with fuel, if homes were denied with warmth, within 3 days we'd be roaming the streets like pampered savages, like urban zebras with nowhere to graze. The comfort has become a prison. We've allowed them to turn us into waddling pipkins. What is civilization but dependency? Now, I'm not suggesting that we need to become supermen. That solution has been averred before and it didn't end well. Prisoners of comfort, we dread the apocalypse. What will we do without our pre-packed meals and cosy jails and soporific glowing screens rocking us comatose? The apocalypse may not arrive in a bright white instant. It may creep into the present like a fog. All about us we see the shipwrecked harbingers foraging in the midst of our excess. What have we become that we can tolerate adjacent destitution, that we can amble by ragged despair at every corner? We have allowed them to sever us from God, and until we take our brothers by the hand, we will find no peace. My mate Mark Stone worked for Ford. When we left school, my eyes were trained on the glimmer of far-off hills, one word, block high, across the sky. Mark became an apprentice at Ford's in Averley, nearby. I never told him that I thought his pride gauche, that when he spoke of our place meaning the factory where cars were assembled, to me that sounded odd. He felt connected to his work and proud as a man who loved speed and cars that he knew how to make them. We'd bomb about in Essex lanes in his customised van, Ford of course, and smoke draw. Mark was content, well paid, connected. I was signing on and fraught, desperate, feeling only what I didn't have, that I was subject to some terrible injustice, that Olympus had erred and given me the wrong life. It was okay for Mark to work as skilled labour and listen to hip-hop and do nights on doors in clubs in Dagenham and have rows and pull birds. I am fated for better things, better things. I got a grant to go to drama school, I got a habit, I got a cool jacket, I got cool friends. Mark would come up and visit me in London, still talking of our place. He'd drop me off a bit of gear and indulge my fantasies of fame. I'll be your bodyguard, Russ, he'd say. But we both knew he loved it at Ford's with his mates, making things. When Mark died on a motorbike at 29, I didn't cry. I didn't go to the funeral. I was too busy making it to grieve for a mate that lived for making things. I was a junkie by then. Now I know what Mark meant by our place and his easy pride in what he made. He knew himself, and in his heart that factory was his. It didn't matter where the profits went. I wanted power, Mark already had it. They closed Ford's down, of course. They put their factory somewhere else where people work for less. The system they deploy doesn't measure pride or connection, it measures only profit. They talk to us all friendly, use our language, whispering in seductively avuncular vernacular. In their slogans, in their ads, they use our labour while it suits them till it doesn't, then they're gone. Like Dracula on a jugular, they kill the thing they feed upon. Where is this connection that Mark felt at his place, that I looked for in fame? That these Marines appear to have as they skip by like this assault course is a poppy field whilst I spit out the wood chips. I feel embarrassed by their insistent encouragement. They treat me like I'm one of them, and I've always found that hard. Like I might leak lachrymose gratitude like the Elephant Man or a blind boy in a story from my nan. Up I get though, and the course that beneath their stomped ballet rolled with them like an airport walkway with me rises and undulates and slaps me about the face, a belated chastisement for missing games. They're nice about it though, and as I accept their consolations, I silently thank God for making me famous. Thank you for the gleaming bandages, the glamorous mummification that I can die quietly here behind the walls of my marvellous tomb. Let me know what you think. Sorry for nicking your university. Let us know what you think of that read-through. We're actually in a library. We're not meant to be or anything. Look out the window. It's a proper library. See you later.